they've arrived.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much for staying with us. If you think it's crowded in here, out there it's absolutely insane. So for all the guests who we've got coming up on this stage, they've had to fight, kick, punch, just to get here for you guys. So when they come on stage, please do give them a very big, warm welcome. And they're just getting mic'd up and we'll be with you in just a moment's time. So, coming up next we have the By Any Means panel, which will be starting in just a few moments' time. Following on that, we will have Roger Craig Smith and Trey Baker. So they will be with us in a few minutes' time as well, and then we will leave you with them, and you can ask them any questions that you wish to know about the games they work on, work in the industry. But coming up before that, we have By Any Means in just one moment's time. Thank you. And thank you very much once again for being patient. It's been a hell of a day. Is everyone having a good time, by the way?
Yes. Yeah.
That guy is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can you please give a big warm welcome and a round of applause for Warren Brown, Elliot Knight, Shelley, Conn and Andrew Lee Potts. Guys, thank you very much. I'd actually say, don't. That's what happens when you move too close together. Separate out a wee bit more. Your mics don't like each other too much. Okay, so thank you very much for joining us, guys. Apologies for the hassle and any violence you have to cause on your way getting into the hall. So, By Any Means. Now, if anyone has any questions at any point, then throw your hands up in the air, but I'm going to kick it off. And I'd be curious to know your thoughts on a show which, to my mind, is effectively bringing back the whole police procedural and doing it in the UK style. And I was trying to think of a good way of summing it up, because it's not your standard police show. As is often said, there's certain blurred lines involved. And I think the best way I could describe it would be, it's almost Ocean's 11 fighting crime.
What?
Ocean's 11 fighting crime.
With a bit of Equalizer and the A2 possibly thrown in?
So I'd be curious to know, I mean, there's a huge amount of blurred morality within what you guys do, and I think everyone has their own motivations for it. I'd be curious to know how you each feel about each of your own characters' motivations behind what you do within the team, and how you deal with the morale aspect.
I think, you know, the morality, yeah, it's kind of blurred, and we're essentially it's about the ends justifying the means, you know, and it's fun, it's exciting, you know, that's the kind of task in hand, is that we've got to get whichever job this particular week done. So, but ultimately we're on the side of, kind of putting it bluntly, just good versus evil, right and wrong, I think, and I think they're, you know, they've got strong morals in the sense of just seeing that justice is done, and in the case where we're brought in, justice, for whatever reason, hasn't been able to be done, and that's where we have to come in.
I think the point, wow, really loud.
You got the good one.
The point of it is as well, okay, good. The point of it is as well that you never actually know if what they're doing can be justified by what they're trying to bring about. And like my character Charlie, for example, he joins the group, they're already set up doing what they do, and for him he's always been cautious about how they go about doing what they do, and if it is actually right, and if it sits well with him. So for like the first couple of episodes especially, there was, for me, a strong sense of, does Charlie think that this is right? Like, is it okay to kidnap someone? Is it okay to threaten to murder someone and still claim to be on the right side of the law? You just don't know.
I think for my character, Jessica Jones, it's very clear to her what is right and wrong, and if a case is given to them, then she doesn't question it. It's very clear these people have to be brought down. But I think for her, for my character, and possibly for the others, I don't know, but it's the thrill of the chase. So whatever plan they've devised, that's just awesome to them, and it's fun. But whatever it takes, it doesn't really matter if it is against the law. It doesn't matter as long as they're brought to justice.
I think sometimes probably because he's kind of the ex-criminal one, so he's come in a little bit of a different way. So I think he was originally quite stealing millions as he did.
This is an announcement for Aidan
Sorry,
Carville. That's Aidan Carville. Could you please make your way to the north side, N2, lower office? Thank you.
Can we?
Can we get a clean up on aisle 6, please?
Yeah, so basically because he was an extra, so I think maybe he comes from a different way, but his morality is still as much as the other guys, I think, in a sense of bad and good. He knows he wants to do good. He wants to do good. He wants to do good, like everybody else, and yeah, he believes. This is going really well. He believes in his team that he works with at the end of the day. He believes in the other guys and with the new recruit being Charlie. And so yeah, I think yeah, I've lost what I'm talking about now because of all the. But you know what I mean. Thank you. That was a crap round of applause.
Always rely on the Joker. Now, Shelley, it's interesting just what you were saying with regards to Jessica's character, and she ultimately it's about the chase. I've got to say, of all the people, I actually found your character a little bit scary in a certain way. There was the first episode in particular, it's the flippancy with which you just say, can we not just kill them?
Yeah, I mean, there was a question about that during production actually, and how much did she mean it, and how much is she joking? And the fact that you couldn't tell is what I like. I was playing it for straight. Yeah, you know, as far as she's concerned, the guy is filth, and the world is a better place without him. So why lock him away and pay good tax money towards his imprisonment when you can just kill him? And you know, that really is beating him at his own game. But obviously they can't do that. And ultimately, this is a country that doesn't believe in capital punishment. So you know, we can't. That's not part of the deal. Well, and that's the big question of the show, is how far do you go to achieve justice? And that's where the show gets interesting.
It's contrasted quite nicely with there's the lovely discussion that happens towards the end of episode 1 when, Charlie, you're actually recruited, your character's recruited. And there's a nice discourse between you both where you're explaining the morality behind what it is. And it ultimately seems to come down to good guys doing bad things for good reasons.
For the greater good.
The greater
good. Warren. Anything else?
That's what I'm saying, you know, he kind of puts it clearly and puts it on the table that there are white hats and black hats, good guys, bad guys. And yet, you know, the ends justifying the means. And we just have a bloody good time doing it as well.
And has there been a lot of the themes and the deals that you're dealing with, I mean, it's ultimately it's a primetime show, but a lot of the aspects are very dark, and it's something that could very easily become a much more bloody and adult show. Have you had much feedback or response based on the family audience or pressure to take it in that direction?
I mean, the interesting thing about the show is it doesn't just go one way. It doesn't just try to be dark, and it doesn't just try to be a comedy and light. We've got a nice contrast in every episode. So it's a feel of a team trying to deal with quite dark, important issues and criminals, but at the same time we get on and we're quite tight and familiar with each other. So you've got a nice feel to it. I think as the series progresses, it gets more gritty as it goes on. And we've got our season finale on tomorrow, and that's...
Is anyone watching tomorrow?
About 10%. Yeah, and I think it builds towards that, and that's what's really nice about it, is that you never know if they're going to get away with it or not. And maybe for the whole series, it feels like, yeah, they will, you know, they'll come out of it at the end, but then maybe that's not always the case.
No.
Yeah, it keeps that edge of the good guys don't always win, which I think is ultimately at the heart of what you do. The good guys don't always win, and then there's you. Yeah. So, okay, does anybody have any questions for the... Wow, that was like, super fast.
Hi, it's about pranks on set, because it was mentioned on Twitter, so I was wondering which is the most memorable one for you guys?
Pranks.
Pranks, yeah.
The best what, sorry?
Pranks.
we take our job terribly seriously, and there was absolutely no messing about.
I don't believe it.
The show's creative writer might be in the room as well, so yeah, we behaved ourselves.
I mean, there was one prank that I can remember, which actually wasn't carried out by us, and I don't think it was done on purpose, but one day hello, and we all went to our separate little dressing rooms, and Andrew just opened his door and burst out laughing because there was Tom-Tom's jacket, Tom-Tom's pair of jeans, Tom-Tom's hoodie, Tom-Tom's t-shirt, and Jessica's bra all laid out for him. I mean, to me that stands out. It's like, oh, was it your bra? I can't remember. Was it actually your bra? And there wasn't a prank then, it was serious. That's something that I remember from the days when
We, yeah, there weren't so much pranks, but we tend to giggle. We're gigglers, for sure. And if it set us off, then we'd be off. I mean, there was one time, I won't say the moment, but me and Shelley was in the sea on the shot together, and we couldn't stop laughing so much that they had to remove us from the scene, and they had to shoot the guy not looking at anybody, because we just could not keep our stuff together. So, it wasn't very professional, but it was bloody hilarious.
Sounds less of pranks and more like you're a liability. Okay, any more questions from here? And then I will come down to the middle.
Hi, apart from By Any Means, what is the favourite show or series that you've all been in individually or together?
I don't really have much choice, so... Oh, so Sinbad for me would be mine. Yeah, that was really good fun and different to this, so I enjoyed that a lot.
I guess I enjoyed Terra Nova and Mistresses.
For me, apart from By Any Means, I think I'd have to say...
Luther!
Yeah.
For me, two things, Primeval and Alice, where I played the Mad Hatter. Yeah.
Okay, chap down here.
Wow.
Hello there. There's you four that appear in the show every time, but there's also one other that appears in the show. What is their role in the government?
Ooh, good question. I'm not going to answer it because I don't know.
Yeah, it's a grey area.
Oh, my foot's gone down.
I don't think it's really alluded to, it's quite ambiguous, but that's kind of the sense of the show again, you know, you don't know where these guys have exactly come from, their background, and I kind of like that air of mystery, so, you know, to keep us asking questions, but again, it comes down to that whatever she is, whoever she works for, she's getting a good job done. I hope that answers your question.
I've always seen it that there's several links in the chain between the real law and us, and she's just somewhere in there, and I think she probably drifts in between, you know, varying degrees as to how much she knows about what the police are doing and how much she knows about what we're doing. I just think whatever it is, she's kind of the link.
I saw one thing which referred to her as the Charlie to your angels.
I think she'd love that.
Okay, there was another hand down there, yeah.
Of the storylines that you've had so far, which is the one that's stuck in your memory the most from the storylines in this series?
Which episode?
Yeah.
I think for all of us, is it the one that's on tomorrow?
Sorry again.
Every episode is different, and that's what I kind of really enjoyed. That, you know, you're not quite sure what you're going to get each week, but I think tomorrow is the series finale and a bit of a cliffhanger, and you know that was a particularly great episode. But I kind of look at it as a collective of all the stories together, and the journey to kind of get there and meeting all the characters and seeing the different plans. So I've not got a particular favourite.
I'm stuck in it.
Mine, I have to say the one tomorrow, so none of you guys know anything about that, but it's very much set apart from the rest of the series, I think, in where it dares to go. It's a lot more daring, so yeah, definitely check it out if you like a bit of daring British TV.
And for me, this episode tomorrow, it just brings together everything we were discovering about the series, about the style of it, about where we go with it. I think it all comes together tomorrow. It's my favourite episode.
Me too, I totally agree about tomorrow night's episode. It's hardcore and it's brilliant and I'm proud of it. But I also liked Do Not Fret, Pretty Ladies. Yeah, I like that episode. Episode 2, go. Why not?
Okay, we are short on time, so we've got time for one more question if anyone has anything else.
Damn.
Do you see yourself in like the characters you played, like the personalities, like range of yourselves?
I wanted to ask about...
My character's way cooler than me, so not really.
I think with a lot of characters, you know, you're cast for you, so you do put some of your own traits into the character, but then kind of with the boundaries of the script, you get given facility to push that and go where the script and that particular character takes you. So I think, you know, that there are elements of us in our characters, but kind of dependent, you get to make that up and be someone else.
My character's got curly hair, so no similarities whatsoever.
Charlie was actually who I would like to be more like in the world. If I do that kind of thing, clearly I don't. But yeah, I don't think I'm too similar to him. But then again, I probably speak for all of us when I say that when you play someone that's further away from yourself, it's a lot more fun. He's a lot more serious than me, and I'm a lot more of a better dancer. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, that is brilliant. I'm afraid, guys, we are out of time. So thank you very much for the
Thank you, guys.
Please give a big round of applause. And just in case they didn't tease it enough, make sure you do check the show out tomorrow night, 9 p.m. It will be on stage. Check it out. I'm sure you'll
guys.
knackered.
Oh!
Don't forget
What are they doing? Oh, okay.
Please. Damn you. We're not in the photo. Oh. No, it's alright.